Okay, welcome back to another video. I feel like this video deserves maybe like a different kind of start to normal videos, because I almost want this to be like I'm just sort of having a chat with a friend. It's going to be a different style of video today. There isn't really going to be like tons of informative stuff in here about working out and whatnot. I mean, I might cover a little bit when I'm working out, but generally it's just gonna get the camera to follow me around while I'm training. I'm doing an upper session today, and I just want to give a bit of an update on where I'm at. So if you're a follower of me, maybe you're just a little bit more interested in sort of like my life as opposed to just like the educational side of things, then this video is definitely going to be for you. So I don't really have like a plan for it. I'm just kind of going to throw in the clips from the workout and chat at the same time. But I felt this video deserved a little bit of a different intro. So let's get on with it. So I'm going to sip on my pre-workout and intro the video here. 2022 has been wild. On the one hand, it's been like, I'm going to say it, for me personally, a really bad year, but also on the other hand, like, things had to get bad for them to get better. Just a lot going on in my personal life, which threw me off for a big chunk of the year. But as we go into the last quarter, things are really on the up for me, and I'm so glad that in a way I kind of put myself in this position where things were going to get a little bit worse, because now I'm able to see that light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm able to keep on progressing. So some of the positives for me right now is that I'm moving out. I'm getting a new place all by myself, which is what I need to grow as a human being, and just move into the next phase of my life. I need space, and I need to be able to just, like I say, keep on growing, and I've outgrown where I am right now. So I'm very excited to move into this new place, and it will be cool to be able to be a little bit more, have more space for content, let's say, because I'll be able to have the kitchen to myself, I'll be able to have all kinds of places to myself, so it will make, for you guys, content a bit cleaner and a bit better. Before I get into the workout, the final thing that I will say, and I'll probably dive into this a little bit deeper as I'm kind of talking as I go on, but I think this year more than anything has just shown me that I have to do what makes me happy, which I guess might sound really obvious, but I think I've been through a lot of phases in my life, especially towards the beginning of this year, where I just wasn't doing things for me, and that's what I'm excited for. It's not me saying that I've now become some really like selfish person, that's not what I'm saying at all. But this year has shown me that I have to put myself first, because if I don't do that, then nothing else really matters anyway, because other things fall apart. So if you're watching this video and you feel like you're in a position where maybe you were doing the same as I was, and actually just not doing things that make you happy, it's really important that you take time to reflect and try to solve that as best as you can, because now that I'm doing that and I am putting myself first, and one of those things being, you know, getting this place on my own, I'm able to see, like I said a second ago, that light at the end of the tunnel. So that's the intro to this video. Basically just saying that so far I've had a pretty crazy fucking year. A lot of good things, but also a lot of things where I've had to just take time to reflect. But I'm ready to move into this last quarter of the year. I'm ready to talk some more on training, how that's going. This is a Road to 24 episode, so I'm going to update you on how my progress is going. So yeah, I'm going to finish this pre-workout and I'm going to get into my upper session. Okay, we're going to start off with 3 sets of some dumbbell laterals, going for 12 to 15 reps on each set. I'm going to move into some chest work now. I'm going to do 2 exercises, 2 different presses. So we're going to start off with the cable chest press, 2 sets here. Then we're going to move into some incline dumbbell pressing. Typically, if I was in a bigger gym, like I had more weight available, then I'd do the dumbbell presses first, just because obviously I need a bit more stability for those in comparison to the cable chest press. Because if I fatigue myself here, then obviously it's going to make that harder. However, I'm limited here. The dumbbells here only go up to 30 kilos. So if I was to do those first, there wouldn't be quite enough weight. So I'm going to fatigue myself on here and then go into the incline pressing. So I think if we kind of move through the different categories of what I want to talk about, if we just dive into like what's changed for me in terms of my personal life, obviously I spoke about moving into the flat, like this new apartment that I've got. There's obviously a lot in my personal life that I just can't and don't want to talk about, but the one thing that I do want to say, and hopefully this resonates with quite a lot of followers, because I know that a lot of people that follow me also have this, is like, so I have ASD, and for years and years and years, I've just not been like respecting myself and giving myself what I need to live my life with ASD. Like, I've not been respecting myself. In some ways, I've not been doing it deliberately. Like, I haven't really realized why I feel the way I do. Like, why when I get home, I'm so unbelievably drained just from being out of the house, and why all I want to do is, you know, like watch cartoons and just like chill and do really like easy things on my brain. And I'm finally like starting to understand that and respect it. I think I've really struggled in the past with like, there's so many different sides to me, and I've always felt like there's some weird contradictions. Like, I'm this guy who runs 2 businesses at such a young age. I can seem really mature, but then on the other hand, like I just said, all I want to do at the end of the day is go home, watch cartoons and just chill and like use stim toys, and just, I think I've always found it quite difficult to, like, in my mind, I'm like, how do those 2 things go? And actually it's like, it doesn't matter, who cares? Like, yes, I can run 2 businesses, I can manage tens of clients, I can do all these things, but actually also giving myself what I need at the end of the day and watching my cartoons and stimming and doing all those things, it's actually been really empowering for me. And I feel like at first it was quite hard, but now it's like, yeah, I can do those things because they help me, and that's one of the biggest changes that I've made this year. And I'm putting it in this video because I want other people that follow me and maybe have been through that, especially if you're like, you know, going to the gym bodybuilding, that's like, quote unquote, like seen as a really macho thing, and then to go home and watch cartoons, it's like, to me it was always like, why, like, how does this work? But it's just me, it's what I need and what like my brain needs to be. So that's one of the biggest changes for me this year, is just like giving myself the respect that I deserve. Let's move into some incline pressing. That actually moved a lot smoother than I thought it would. We can put that up next week. So training wise, what changes have I made? So there's two big changes. The first one is that I am now only training 4 days a week. I've been training 5 days a week for a very long time now, years and years and years. I train to failure, so it means that my sets are quite low really in comparison to some other people, but I train to failure, so my volume is actually pretty, not high, but it's like where it needs to be for me with that sort of training modality. Dropping down to 4 days has been for a number of reasons. The first one being because it's what I felt I needed mentally and physically, and ultimately I'm doing this for me, I'm not doing it for anyone else. Also because of work, coaching and PTing is my number one passion. I'm not a professional bodybuilder, no shit. I love this and I want to do it and I need to do it, but my coaching and my PTing is my number one priority. I'm a coach first, bodybuilder second, and business is growing so much right now and I'm loving every second of it, and I want to just immerse myself into it. And so I made the decision to drop down to 4 days, so change the split. Obviously that's meant that I've lost a bit of volume and I've basically taken it away from areas that I feel I'm either not as bothered about or are stronger areas for me, so I maybe don't need to worry about losing too much muscle there. And actually, to be honest with you, I didn't have to get rid of as much as I thought I was going to. Some calf stuff's gone, some tricep stuff's gone, and a little bit of side delt. That's the first big change. Doesn't mean that I'll never go back to 5 days, but for now, I'm really, really enjoying just the 4 days. It's really good for me. The second change is my mentality when I'm training. I'm no longer this angry, unhappy bodybuilder. I'm listening to music that makes me feel good. It's making me want to train. It's not making me want to go home. I leave the gym in a good mood. Yes, I'm knackered, but I'm in a good mood. That mentality worked for me for a long time. But after speaking to people that I trust and just realizing that actually my way of training was making me miserable, I knew I had to make changes. And at first I was very nervous about this because when someone said to me, you need to stop getting angry when training, I was like, but how am I going to train to failure? That was genuinely my response. And honestly, nothing has changed. I just feel happier when I'm training. I want to be in the gym now. Like I say, listening to heavy metal, getting angry, it worked for me for a long time. So I'm not saying that it's wrong, but based on what I need right now, being happy is what I need. And this new way of training, like I say, listening to music makes me feel good. Generally just not getting angry, not putting myself in dark places to get to failure on sets is what I need. And that's a really big change for me. Like I say, I was really scared about how that would affect my training, but it's been nothing but a positive for me. Next exercise, we've finished chest stuff. We finished pressing. We've got one more chest exercise after this. We're going to move into some rows. There isn't any lat biased stuff in this upper workout. That's all on the pull day. We've just got some upper back stuff like rear delt, trap, rhomboids with this row here. Last chest exercise. We're going to do some cable flies. The greatest of all flies. If you want to level it up even more, pop a foam roller between your shoulder blades and watch your life change for the better. Okay, we're going to finish with some biceps. We've got 5 sets, 2 sets on here doing some dual cable curls, and we'll go over to the dumbbells, do 3 sets of dumbbell hammers, and then that is upper completed. Got a little bit of cardio to do. I'll finish off this video on the bike. So yeah, let's get these final sets done. Okay, we're going to finish it with some cardio, and I'm going to finish this video here by going through two things. So the first one, the title of the video, my plans have changed. Technically they have, because my training is very, very different. My focus is very different from not only what it was at the beginning of the year, but also just what it's been for the past few years, really. I think one thing that I've learned is that I've really been on autopilot for the past few years, to try and ignore other things that were happening in my life. And what does that mean for 2024? So to go back in time, the goal with 2024 was to get into the best shape of my life and to step on stage. Has that changed? No. The goal is still in 2024 to get into the best shape of my life, and all of this that I'm doing now and I've been doing for the past few years is building towards that goal, building this physique through long bulks and as shorter cuts as I can get away with. What has changed for me is what I want to do with that physique, because there's a big part of me that's like, I don't know if I actually want to step on stage, which saying that out loud is really weird, because that's been my dream since I was 14, and I'm not saying that I'm not going to do it. The goal is still to get into the best shape of my life, but whether or not it will be on stage or for a photo shoot, I don't yet know. So yeah, my plans have changed, and at first I was kind of like, do I tell people? Like, it's very rare that I change my plans, which is an ASD thing, but I feel like being open and honest is always what I want to do. And actually, this new goal that I've set myself just kind of sits better with me at the minute. And 2024 is a long way away, you know, so there's still time to go back on it again. So in a way, the goal hasn't changed, because physique-wise it's still the same, but where I put myself with that physique might be different. The other thing as well is, after sort of my change in mentality towards training and my sort of like health scare at the beginning of the year, which was a mental health scare, not a physical health scare, but it still makes you think. Like, I really want to, first of all, do more cardio, hence being sat on this bike, but also because I am running a bit of a mini cut at the minute. But once 2024 is over, and I feel like I've got the size that I want, which is actually a lot smaller than I originally thought, I'm already getting a little bit fed up of clothes not fitting me. Like, the inside of my thigh is rubbing together, like it's starting to get a bit annoying. I feel like post 2024, my training might change even more, and there'll still be a big bodybuilding element to it, because ultimately that's the sport that I love and that's what I enjoy. But I do want to get more cardio in, and just play around with different training styles, because my focus has been bodybuilding since I was 14. That's a long time, you know. In 2024 that'll be 10 years, so I want to start mixing it up after that and really finally start doing what feels right for me. So yeah, that is the update from me. I've got 200 more calories to burn on this bike. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, big thank you. Bit of a different one today, obviously it's more like a personal update. So if you're interested in my life, then hopefully this video gave you a bit of an insight into where I'm at right now, and just the progress, I guess, that I'm making as a human being in 2022, which has been kind of wild. So yeah, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Drop a like on it if you enjoyed hearing my ramblings, and I will speak to you all again soon.